This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
In 1953, a 13-year-old boy was walking home from his school, and he was suddenly surrounded by a local gang, who beat him, kicked him, and knocked him down on the ground. And the boy lay there covered in medial wounds and couldn't get up. And that small boy was none other than Bruce Lee. But young Bruce Lee didn't give up. From that moment, he started learning martial arts and trained himself relentlessly to fight back all the odds which came against him. Later, when the same gang encountered him again, it was a different story. This time, he fought back fiercely. One had his bones shattered, another limped away with a badly injured leg, and the rest were beaten down brutally. It was the first moment which drove Bruce Lee to learn martial arts. Bruce Lee was the first martial artist to bring Chinese martial arts to the global stage through film. He was the creator of Jeet Kune Do, a revolutionary martial arts philosophy that broke free from tradition and focused on adaptability, speed, and simplicity. He was the creator of the legendary one-inch punch, a strike so explosive it could send a grown man flying backward with barely any movement. He was the man who became a massive inspiration to millions across the world, proving that true strength comes from within. And today, we will learn about Bruce Lee and how to become a person like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee once said, "I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." Bruce Lee mastered perfection. He always said true greatness doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing one thing with ruthless focus until the world has no choice but to notice. That's what made him dangerous and different from others. Bruce Lee wasn't the biggest man. He didn't have any political connections. He didn't come from money, but he had something more powerful: discipline, direction, and total domination over his own mind. He studied philosophy. He trained like a lunatic. He rejected limits. Bruce Lee is not just a legend from the past. He is a standard, a reminder that greatness is earned, not given. You won't find it in comfort or shortcuts or waiting for someone to tell you you're ready. When Bruce Lee tried to break into Hollywood, he was rejected repeatedly. Studios told him bluntly that an Asian man could never be a lead actor in America, especially not in action films. Instead of giving up, Bruce created his own path. He returned to Hong Kong and made The Big Boss, 1971, a film that smashed box office records across Asia. Suddenly, Hollywood had no choice but to notice. He didn't follow the trend, he changed it. He proved that Asian actors could lead, could fight, could dominate, and the world would watch. Bruce didn't wait for permission. He didn't ask, "Can I do this?" He said, "Watch me." And when the world said no, he trained harder. He moved faster. He hit louder. He became a mirror, reflecting possibility for those who had been ignored, dismissed, underestimated. He said, "Be like water, be adaptive, be resilient, be reshaped through circumstances, but never be broken." Bruce Lee was a voracious reader. He read over 2,500 books. He trained for 4 to 6 hours a day. His mind was as sharp as his kicks. He didn't just build muscle, he built a mindset. He created Jeet Kune Do, a philosophy that blended styles and focused on real-world effectiveness. His books like Tao of Jeet Kune Do are now considered Bibles for martial artists. He trained like an athlete: weights, running, boxing, philosophy, decades ahead of the MMA world. He didn't stick to one tradition, he created a new one. Now, modern MMA fighters train exactly like Bruce Lee did in the 1960s. Bruce Lee said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." He showed everyone that you don't have to be extraordinary to do extraordinary things. You just need one thing: unshakable focus on a meaningful goal. When others were distracted, he was dialed in. When others were relaxing, he was refining. While the world was sleeping, Bruce Lee was becoming a weapon. Dreams don't work unless you bleed for them. And Bruce Lee bled for his dreams, not once, not for a while, but every single day. He wasn't just chasing success, he was chasing self-mastery. Behind every lightning-fast punch, behind every explosive kick, was hours of obsession, pain, and discipline most people wouldn't survive. When others rested, he stretched. When others trained casually, he drilled with military precision. When others partied, he studied, not just martial arts, but philosophy, psychology, and personal development. Most people quit at 40%. Bruce Lee kept going at 140%. Because Bruce didn't want to just win fights. He wanted to understand life and master himself completely. In 1970, Bruce Lee suffered a serious back injury while weightlifting. Doctors said he might never walk normally again, let alone fight. Bruce refused to accept that. Instead of surrendering, he turned that hospital bed into a war room. He wrote, planned, visualized. He trained his mind when his body couldn't move. From that pain came his most powerful work, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, a timeless manual not just on combat, but on how to live. Bruce Lee's greatness wasn't an accident. It was a product of focus, failure, and fire. He said, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." Because he understood, life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. So what does it take to be like Bruce Lee? Not talent alone, not luck, recognized, but a relentless command. A hunger so deep that even pain becomes fuel. A discipline so sharp it cuts through excuses. A mindset so focused the world bends around it.
Bruce Lee didn't just break the rules, he rewrote the game. He didn't just show up, he transformed every space he entered. He didn't wait for a seat at the table, he built the table. Bruce Lee made us believe that you don't need to be the strongest. You don't need to be the fastest. You just need to be unbreakable in purpose. Train your body like a warrior. Train your mind like a monk. Live your truth like a flame no one can extinguish. And when they doubt you, let your work punch back. Bruce died at just 32, but what he left behind was eternal. He gave power to the weak, a voice to the unseen, and a belief to the world that one man with relentless discipline can change everything. So the next time life tests you, when rejection knocks, when the world doubts you, when everything feels like it's breaking apart, remember Bruce. Don't get bitter, flow, adapt, rise. Be like water, my friend, not just in body, but in spirit.